This is educational, not trading or investment advice, okay? This is entertainment, mainly educational. Future stocks, bond trading of any kind involves substantial risk. You may lose everything you have. Before trading or investments, do your own due diligence. This is not a recommendation to go out and trade with your money, okay? If you do so, you're on your own. If you're watching or listening to this video, you are agreeing to these terms. Okay, let's get to it.
Welcome and thanks for stopping by. I'm Digital Micro. You're on the Digital Micro Trading Journal channel, day trading for an ROI payout, Wednesday, February 14, 2024. Daily affirmation: I see it and understand. Rigid discipline and rules, flexible and outcome expectations, independent thinker, impeccable risk manager, precision-based trader, responsible business manager. Left to right, NASDAQ 100, E-mini S&P 500 in the middle, and the far right, the dollar. The first thing you want to note on the dollar is we're green. We're green and we continue to move up above this blue 3 EMA. And I've got 4 candles on each of these charts because I wanted to make sure. Prior video, I talked about these pivot swings. I pointed out the swing low here, but it was dubious if we're going to get a major candle up, but we sure did. And the opposite is true of the two equity indices on the middle and the left. The NASDAQ had a pivot high up here, and then Tuesday we go and we sink down, and we do the same for the S&P 500. I would say the S&P 500, at least for the whole year, this is the biggest downside. And if you note here, we tagged on both of these. Let's look at the colors. All 3 charts are green, so that's suspect right there, right? There's no inverse relationship on the dollar and these 2 others. So one of these is lying, either the indices or the dollar. What I'm looking at also is we've just tagged the 3 EMA on the equity indices, and we've receded a bit. But we need to go to some different charts here to look at the levels before I get a bigger picture on what my trade plan is. But this is where we start, right here with the dailies. So take a good look at that, and let's go to the next chart. So the first thing is I'm pulling out the Renko chart tonight just because look at where we started here, maybe 33 minutes before the close of prior day, and we go all the way rip up here into Globex, and then London opens here at 49.80, New York midnight 49.72, and then we go all the way up to almost this upper blue Keltner here. So I like the Renko, if for no other reason, just to get an idea of how the Keltners. Now again, let's look at the prior day. We had a lot of lower Keltner action here repeatedly, and we couldn't really get above this red middle Keltner, but now we're way above the red. The red's coming in at 49.72, and we're way up here, which is inside of this 15-minute fair value gap. So that's one exhibit that I've got on my mind to say, oh, this is a bit much. I'm going to wait for the RTH session to open, but let's go to the 15-minute benchmark. 15-minute benchmark on the ES Mini S&P 500. So this big candle right here was the prior day's CPI announcement, and you just see this huge displacement candle. And then the red line was the AM, the last few minutes of the AM session, where we retraced and then we dumped all the way into almost the close here on the low at 49.3650. Now this red line here is 49.88, and that's very important because that's a fib point, around the 50% retracement here of the total prior day candle. But again, I'm looking this 15-minute fair value gap here. We didn't even get yet to break 5,003.50, and that's significant because that's a mid-consequent encroachment of this fair value gap of this candle right here. So there you have it. That's the key right here. If this is going to be meaningful, I need to see price go above this CE of the fair value gap and stay above it and break through. And that's just not really probable yet until we get a catalyst, and we don't have any real major news until the next day and then Fridays. There you go. Below this, what do we have? We've got the new week open gap magnet in this shaded area. I've already pointed out the London here and the New York midnight open here. So I'm looking for us possibly to get back down to the London. That's a 49.80. Retrace at some point in the RTH level there at a minimum, just because of the way the Renko's looking, and then we'll see about the rest. I'm being real conservative here because it's a non-news catalyst day. There's no real major known news events. Above here, I've got last week's February 8th RTH open, and the 9th up here, which is 50.20. 50.13.25 is the 8th, and the 9th is up here. So let's just look at the RTH close here. So this is the RTH close on the 15-minute. You can see prior day, we ended it up here, and we're way up here right now. So this gap up, I think, gets filled back down, at least to the London Open. So that was the RTH hours, but we're into the extended hours, so that's why I want to look at those two settings on the chart. So that's a wrap. Thank you so much to the OG subscribers, and welcome all 2024 subscribers. Aloha, take care, bye.